Hello and welcome to Fashionation. In this video, we're going to show you how to use the Fashionation blog editor and also give you some tips and tricks to get more views of your blog. So let's get started. Alright, the very first thing you want to do is click Create. And then you're going to come into this box and what you're going to see is Submit for Review, Save, Preview, this little pencil with a pad, Title, and Tell Your Story. Okay, now let's talk about what each thing is. When you're finished writing your blog, you'd submit it for review. If you're not finished, but you've started writing your blog and you want to work on some more later, you might click Save. When you do that, you can go over here to Blogs, okay, and you're going to be able to select Draft. So if you want to get back to your drafts, you'll see Published. Those are obvious. In Review, those are blogs that you have with the editor. Bookmarks and drafts. If you have any in drafts, just click the draft tab and you'll be able to find your blogs. You'll see he has how to write a blog, expert tips and tricks for 2020. So he has one blog in draft. Okay, so let's move over here. And the very first thing let's do is let's talk about what this thing is. This is what categories your blog is going to cover. Is it apparel? Is it celebrity fashion, hairstyles, makeup, jewelry, you name it, there's pretty much everything in here. In this case, we'll probably just put that. Now, but what's more important is the featured image. Your featured image is when you see an article on Facebook, for instance, you'll see a photo and you'll see a short description of that article. That's how articles are shared. So you want to get a really good featured image because it will invite people to read your blogs and you'll make more money. So what I've done here is I have a few photos I've saved on my device, and you'll see here that I have a girl and I've described what she's doing. It's a blogger on a laptop, and I've written how to write a blog in there in the description. And that will be my featured image. Okay, so that's all taken care of. So now the next thing we're going to do, we'll close that out, is let's write our title. Okay, I have saved my blog onto a Word document, so if something goes wrong, I have a place to go back to. I won't have lost all my work. I strongly suggest you do this. This is the title I'm using for my blog. And there's a reason that I've written it the way I've written it, but we'll get into that later. How to write a blog, expert tips and tricks for 2023. Probably should have done 2024, but it's just not 2024 yet. So, okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to put in our introduction. Okay, and our introduction should always have an introduction. I cannot tell you when I see blogs, I just, with no introduction, I'm like, it just kind of leaves you wondering, what am I about to read about? You're supposed to tell people what you're going to write about and what they can expect within your blog. Make it exciting. An introduction is important. Writing a blog may seem difficult, but it's really not. If you know some tips and tricks that can help you. In this post, I'll show you some simple tricks to not only produce great quality work, but also give you, and you'll notice this little red line here. What is that red line? Well, it's not spell check. What this is Grammarly. It is a plug-in for Google Chrome that will help you improve your grammar. And I have to confess, I really, really like it. And I suggest you use it. SEO tips and tricks to make sure that your blog ranks on Google page 1. And that'll be always a good thing. Okay, so let's go on to the next part of our blog, okay? This is a header. You'll notice that a good blog will often have headers before pretty much every paragraph. It breaks up the blog and gives people an idea of what they can expect in that paragraph. Now, before writing a blog, do your research. Now you'll notice I'm going to highlight this, and this thing pops up. Well, what is this thing? This is to make that what I've highlighted bold, italics, underlines, to make it a link, to make it an H2, which is a header, which stands for header 2, or H3, which stands for header 3. You can use either one. Bullet points, quotation marks. This is the table. I wouldn't do that. and this is for alignment of the text. I'm going to make it an H3, and there you go. Then I'm just going to hit enter, and you see a little plus sign here. Well, you know what? The plus sign gives you a few options. We can put in a video or we can put in a photo. Let's put in a photo. And you see back over here, let's do this. Here's another photo. Now I named it how to write I named it how to write a blog, but I didn't spell it correctly. Wish I had Grammarly on okay. Typo. So let's put that into the blog. Okay. And remember, do not drag and drop these photos. Everybody drags and drops them. Click the plus sign, use the little camera. That way the blog, otherwise we're not going to be able to use the photos sometimes because we get crazy bad things when people do that. Okay. Now we need to get to the next plus sign. Okay, so we're going to click the plus sign again and put in our text. Very simple. Okay, before a pro writer puts down a single word, they'll do a keyword search. What that means is they check to see what do people actually write when searching a subject. So the blog will be written around the keyword. That is really a key phrase. It's not a keyword, it's a phrase. It's usually several words. Sometimes one, but more often than not several. But I mean, if you want a good tutorial on writing a blog, you'd likely enter how to write a blog into Google. And so that's a keyword. How to write a blog would be your keyword. You'll notice I'm backward to Grammarly again. Let's fix up some of my poor grammar. Okay. And I will tell you, I really strongly recommend that you do this because bad grammar does not rank high on Google. And I mean, we fix it during the review, but not always. Don't count on us to always catch all of your mistakes. Okay, so we've got that next paragraph. Now we'll go to our next header. Okay, keyword research. Now we're going to tell you how keyword research works. Once again, we'll make it an H3. Enter. Okay. And now we'll plug in next paragraph. Now to see how many people actually use that exact phrase, you'll need a tool. I recommend the tool called Keyword Surfer. It's again a free plugin for Chrome, and it'll tell you how many people search, and I'm going to show you how it works. And this way you can target keywords that you can actually rank for. I mean, if 2 million people search a keyword, you're never going to rank for it. So don't even waste your time. Write your blog a little differently. Target a keyword that's 8, 10, 20, 15,000 tops, but more than a few thousand, because if you've only got 500 searches a month on a specific keyword, very few people are going to see your blog. So you got to find that middle ground, okay? Again, we got grammar issues. Okay. So what I mean by that is, you see here I've put how to write a blog. That's our keyword, okay? And you'll notice it says 6,600. That means in the United States, which is where I am, 6,600 people every month search for that keyword. We have a very good chance for ranking on that particular keyword. I mean, we're never going to outrank SEMrush or Zapier. I mean, these are, well, I won't say never, but it's going to be hard. 3 million, 8 million people use those sites a month. How to write a blog step by step, Wix, once again, WordStream, HubSpot, how to write a blog. Here we go. Okay, 42, 40, 450. Now we're never going to rank them. Okay, here we go, though. We already have more than how to start Rob. So we could rank for how to write a blog right out of the blocks. So this is a really good keyword, and we're going to stick with it then. Okay, but if it was 1,000,000, we probably wouldn't go up there. So let's get back to our post. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add another, okay, writing a title. Hit enter, there's your plus sign. Let's put in writing a title, and we're going to make it an H3 again. You could do an H2 if it's important. If it's one of the more important things, then do an H2. But typically I'll do an H3. It just looks cleaner when it's all said and done. Another thing is, don't copy other people's work, because first of all, it's never going to rank on Google. Second of all, we're going to catch it and not be happy about it because it's called plagiarism. So do not copy other people's work. Also, do not use AI to write your content, because we'll spot it right away. We know AI work, and we don't allow it. So everything's supposed to be in your own words. If you want to use AI to help you out, get you started, sure, but reword it in your own words so we know that you wrote it. And I suspect that very quickly Google is going to not really index well AI writing, and I'll tell you why, because it's going to overwhelm their search fighters. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Okay, writing a great title is important for two reasons. The first, it needs to be exciting, makes sense, so the people will want to read it. The second is SEO. If your title's not right, it will not rank, and no one will ever see it, let alone read it. Quick tip, your title should always have a number. You'll notice I put the 2023 in there. And a Google Power Word. My Google Power Word is expert. Okay? You need these in titles. You can find the Power Words online. Just Google Power Words. You'll see Rank Math, and they give you an entire list of Google Power Words. You can also use ChatGPT and just ask it what are good power words for blogs. Moving on to the next part of our blog, we're going to show format. Once again, hit enter, put in your header, highlight it, and make it an H3. Click over here to get out of it, hit enter. And now we're going to put in our paragraph. Our paragraph, I put a few bullet points in. I have to play around with it to get it clean. Okay, when it comes to format, to the format of writing a blog, I suggest a 3-part essay. Most of us learned this in school. It's a very simple way to write, and it generally won't let you down. And it's also pretty simple. It's simple to use and produces good quality results. Part 1 is your introduction. Remember I told you about that paragraph. Let's introduce the blog. You want your keyword as quickly as possible. Let's take a look at my introduction just to cover. Writing a blog may seem difficult, but it's really not. But really is not if you know some simple tricks that can help you. In this post, I will show you some simple tricks to not only produce great quality work, but also give you SEO tips and make your page 1. Okay, but you know what is missing here? What's missing here is our keyword. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this. How to write a blog may seem difficult. We'll call it how to write a blog. That's our keyword. And the sooner you can have it, in your introduction, the better. Okay, so how to write a blog may seem difficult, etc., etc., etc. Okay, the body. The body essentially and you make a statement. The introduction is to introduce yourself, tell them what you're going to tell them, and to make a statement. And our statement is how to write a blog. So we're telling them in there, we're backing that up in the body, part 2, with examples of how to write a blog. Okay, writing a title, format, keyword research, etc., etc. And then part 3 is the conclusion. All blogs should have a conclusion. In conclusion, at the end of the day, whatever you want to write, it should have something in there that summarizes the statement and helps you draw a conclusion. And I'll show you some more as we go on. Okay, so let's go on to the next paragraph. Okay, that one's use headers. I've already covered why I use headers, and they're important to SEO as well, by the way. It's literally required for quality SEO. So we made that one an H3. Hit enter. Where did it go? Okay, let's put it in here again. Use headers, highlight, H3. Okay. Next paragraph. Headers help to break up your work and make it simple to follow. They're also an effective way to influence SEO, as I've already said. It is recommended that 30 to 50% of your headers contain your keyword. Also, the H2 and H3 and so on should be inserted to show level of importance. And no SEO optimized blog should have more than one H1 header. You guys don't have the ability to put an H1 header in at this point, but when you move on to the next level and you go to the pro level, you will have the ability to use H1. So just bear in mind, no blog, no article should ever have more than one H1. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to, let's put another photo here. Once again, we'll click our little plus sign, click our little camera, and let's put in how to write a blog writing on a keyboard. Okay. Okay, so now we'll put in our next header. In this case, it's images. Little FYI is if your header asks a question, you might get a little bit of luck. If your header asks a question, it can get good ranking from Google. You'll notice that sometimes you'll write, how do I do this, that, or this, and you'll see something rank right there. That's because that schema has that question in it, and Google ranks it high. So I wouldn't recommend trying that, but it is a great way to go. Any blog should have at least a few images. It should include a featured image and several in the body as well. Now, it's important to name the images before you upload them. Don't name them, try to name them once you get them uploaded. So name them, then upload them. That name should include a keyword, as you've seen I've done that, and a short description of what is in the photo. And all the names should be different as well. Do not have your photos be, a person writing on keyboard 1, person writing on keyboard 1. It should be at least be 2 at very least. Keep in mind that search engines read the name of the image and include it in SEO rankings, and you get extra points for good description that can be described for handicapped users, people that maybe don't see well. You'll notice the name of this photo, I believe, was hands writing on a keyboard. Okay, next thing, let's do another header. I tell everybody to do this, but a lot of times they forget. Please try to remember. This is important because credit image source. Once again, we'll make it an H3. And now we're going to see why you should credit the image source and where you can get them. Okay, more often than not, when you post an image, it's not your own. I mean, we're not photographers. Someone else took and owns the rights to that image. We recommend getting your image from a source that allows you to use them. Canva, Pexels, Unsplash, and 1,000 more allow you to use their images. Most of them require you to credit the source. So if you're using something from Pexels, you must put photo credit Pexels. Little quick SEO tip is if you add a link to Pexels, that links is really good for SEO. For instance, let's go over here, okay? We can go photo, credit, Canva. We really don't have to credit Canva, but so now we got to highlight it, click the link, okay, and then we'll put canva.com. Boom. Now it's a link. And that's really good for SEO. You should have one link that goes to another site and one link that goes back to Fashionation, and we'll cover that in a minute. Okay, we're almost to the end, so bear with me. Okay, the body. The body is, we've already covered a little bit, and we'll cover a little bit more now. Once again, H3. Let's fix these. Okay, and let's add the final 2 paragraphs. Okay, the body of a blog should support the original statement or keyword with examples. For instance, comma, this blog is how to write a blog. So you'll notice the body covers the different aspects of writing a blog, like any 3-part essay. Comma, the body supports a statement by giving examples. Okay, so now let's finish this up. Conclusion. Once again, we'll make it an H3. Enter. And we'll put in our final paragraph. Oh, I didn't do it yet. Okay, well, we'll do it here. But finally, you have a good amount of information to write a good blog. Be sure to do your research and keep your titles and featured image exciting. And there should be a comma there. Okay, so now your blog is pretty much done. And you're going to have a few options here. You can preview it. Let's open it in a second thing. And now we can preview what the blog would look like as a written blog. Okay, so there's our featured image. There's an ad. There's our first paragraph and our introduction. There's the first photo we put in. There's the second photo we put in. There's the body, the conclusion, and there it says my name. Now, we can save it and work on it later, or we could just submit for review. Okay, it says the post title is empty. Okay, so now we submitted it for review. Sometimes if you paste the title into the top, it won't accept it. So what I did is I just actually manually wrote it. Click submit for review. Now click OK. And within an hour or two, your blog should be published. If you have any questions, just ask. And happy blogging, everyone.